The Divine Secret Garden by John Pennella. This is number 3 in our series of exploring the Divine Secret Garden. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome to the Gospel Truth channel. We are here to talk some Divine Secret Garden. We're here to explore the Divine Secret Garden. We're here to have some fun. We're here to look at some deep and interesting information, and we are here to turn you on to some of the real and deep truth of the spiritual world. Hello to the Gospel Truth Army. Hello to those of you that are guests. Hello to those of you that are new, and hello to those of you that have been here for a while. I appreciate your being here. I appreciate your attention. If you feel like this has helped you and you want to share financially, if you're able, you can go through the super chat by clicking the $sign below in the chat box, or go to my website, jeffreydaugherty.com, and share through PayPal. You don't have to have a PayPal account to do so. So we're going to look again at the Divine Secret Garden. Meow is everyone. We're going to look at the Divine Secret Garden, and this is the third installment on this, so you're going to want to go ahead and look at the other parts of the series to get yourself caught up. And let's get started. Meow. We ready to go? All right, let's look at the Divine Secret, pardon me, Garden, and here we go. All right. We're told over and over again, and you've heard me say this over and over again, so it's really interesting to see someone else write it. We're told that Jesus Christ came here to save us. But until I started doing it, most of you never thought to ask, what is Jesus here to save us from? Who is Jesus here to save us from? What is Jesus here to save us from? Why do we need a Savior? Who condemned us in the first place that we need to be saved? I drive down the road and I see these signs, Jesus saves. I'm like, from what? Would a father and mother of unconditional love ever condemn their own children? I mean, some of you have children that have run afoul of the law. Some of you have children that have disowned you. Some of you have children that haven't done what you've wanted them to do, but you still have unconditional love for those children. You'd never condemn them. Remember, if there's a hero that comes to save us from the villain, this is what being saved or protected means. There has to be a villain and there has to be a hero. Now, if the hero is the one that we really need to be saved from, then the hero is the villain. And he's not benevolent. He's not good, but he is rather a malevolent, evil usurper. And I've been telling you this for now about 6 years. The God of the Bible, the Jesus of the Bible, are not heroes, they're villains. It was the God of the Bible that told you you have original sin. It was the God of the Bible that told you you're born with original sin. It was the God of the Bible that told you that at best you're a sinner saved by grace if you do what he says and fall on your face. I've told you over and over that it's the God of the Bible that says you need to be saved. It's the God of the Bible that created this concept of sin. It's the God of the Bible that says you have it within. It's the God of the Bible that says you have to be saved. And it's the God of the Bible who's come to save you. Do you see it? He created something, made you the victim of it, and then said, hey, I'm going to come save you from that thing which I gave you. So now I'm your hero. If you save me from something you gave me, that doesn't make you a hero. That makes you a twisted villain. That's who the God of the Bible is. God is acting as both the villain and the hero that we need to be saved from. And again, I didn't write this. It just seems like I did. The God of the Old Testament was not the father nor the mother. He was and remains a false entity who is sowing evil seed among the good seeds, sowing himself within the seeds also as a false Christ, an antichrist, and destroying the concept of father and mother with the illusion of being an external, distant God and not an internal parent. Pinella says that he's brought forth his own children to live among the children of the father and mother, and they all appear to be the same on the surface until their identity is revealed. That's hard to swallow. A year ago, I probably would have called that into question. However, it is very possible that this villain has brought his own children to live among the children of the father and mother. They do appear on the surface to be the same as we who are offspring of the father and mother, and they will until their identity is revealed. This God talks with people, lives among people, walks to and fro among people. It even states that Moses was the greatest prophet because he spoke to God face to face. Think of this. The Elohim set everything up, as you've heard me teach, created an arena for us to learn, grow, created a training environment, and then backed off and let us train, just like every good parent does. You cut the apron strings. You say, go, learn, do, be yourself. But this other false God, he doesn't leave us to do our own bidding within the training environment. No, he comes down and continually messes, deals with, bothers, and interacts with us with the intention of tripping us up, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. That's the truth. This God was seen by Moses face to face, yet the Christ said that no man has ever seen the true divinity face to face. So you have a problem here. Either the Bible and or Moses are in error, or the Christ is in error. As for me, I will go with the Christ every time because I know the Bible's already proven itself to be errant. And Moses, if he was real, is also full of error. So, are there people of the rat bastard, of the he that I don't like to name, but we have so many new subscribers coming, he that shall not be named is Yahweh Jehovah, the Lord of the Bible. He's the rat bastard because he was born without a father. And he is this villain of which we speak. Has he brought humans or human-like beings that are walking amongst us right now that are not the true seed, that are not from our divine father and mother? Is that a possibility? I'm becoming increasingly convinced that it is. And they are quite literally the children of God, who is Satan. That's one of the things you have to get through your mind if you're going to see the truth, if you're going to realize the true spiritual reality. God is the devil is God. God is Satan is God. God is the Antichrist is God. God is bad. God is a dog. Some of you have said God, dog, dog, God. God is the enemy. Our father and mother are divinity. God is the enemy. Our father and mother are divinity. Crucial distinction for you to grab onto if you ever do really want to unindoctrinate yourself and create a life you'll love and learn to live and grow as a spiritual being and return to the Elohim. Now, folks, What are the fruit of the Spirit? Well, Jeff, that comes from Paul. That's because Paul stole it from the Christ. The fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faith, gentleness, meekness, temperance. What's meekness? Meekness is just chilling. Meekness is not being condemnatory and not being violent. What's temperance? Temperance is having a balance. Temperance is chilling out. Let's see what the word temperance means. Let's define it. Temperance. Definition. Temperance means abstinence from alcoholic drink. That's not what we're talking about. Moderation. Self-restraint. Let's look at another one. Moderation of passions, moderation of appetites, moderation of action, thought, or feeling, restraint. Temperance is allowing people to believe what they want to believe. Temperance is, you caught me. I'm watching Oblivion. That's right. One of the great, great movies. If you've not seen Oblivion, you have got to see Oblivion. And guess who's in it? That's right. Tom Cruise. You got to watch it. It's a great movie. Tremendous spiritual truths within that movie. Yeah, I know it's kind of silly, but you caught me watching Oblivion. So the wicked one, now just compare this to compare and contrast, if you will, to the God of the Bible. I just don't know where to put this thing to keep it out of my way. Compare and contrast this, if you will, to the God of the Bible. Is the God of the Bible love? Well, sometimes, but sometimes he's hatred. Is the God of the Bible joy? Well, sometimes, yeah, but a lot of times he's anger. Is he peace? No, he's really war. Is he patience? No, he said he's impatient. Is he kind? No, he kills fools. Is he gentle? No. Is he meek? No. Is he temperate? No. So by the very definition of the Bible itself, the God of the Bible is not of the fruit of the Spirit, which means we should reject him. The Bible shows you that the God of the Bible must be rejected as a true deity. The Bible itself shows you, in no uncertain terms, that you must reject the God of the Bible as being a false deity. Wicked ones do not show this fruit. It's not in their core being. They can produce a facade or fake it at times. Think about the God of the Bible faking it at times, but it will not come from their seed core being. We've all known people. Some of us have been people. I'll be frank with you right now. I've been a person before this incarnation that did not produce the fruit of the Spirit. I've been a person that did not live in accordance with the fruit of the Spirit prior to this incarnation. And let me be frank with you again. Earlier in this incarnation, I've been a person that did not consistently show the fruit of the Spirit. At times I did, even a majority of the time I did. But in my core being, my core seed being, it wasn't there. Or at least I wasn't allowing it to manifest. Now at 54 years old, I believe that I've come very close and very far towards my goal of being characterized by the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faith, gentleness, meekness, temperance. And all these things lead to life. Well, I've heard you say people are stupid. I've heard you say people are ignorant. I've heard you call people idiots. You can do all of that and still be characterized by the fruit of the Spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I know some of you don't like to hear this, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to call a spade You have to call an idiot an idiot. You have to call a stupid person that's acting in stupid ways stupid. It is the most loving thing that you can do. It's the only way to bring joy into their life. It's the only way to get them into real peace. It's showing patience, because you just want to write them off, but you show patience. It's the kindest thing. It stirs up faith. It's the gentlest thing. It's the meekest thing. And it is a temperate thing when you want to just write them off. And frankly, I'm not that concerned with how you think I am. I have to do what I have to do. And I believe I've been shown a way to do it. But I remain open, and I remain open to being more in line with these attitudes, which of course we all do. Only the children of the Father, even in weakness and stumbling, and I do have weakness and stumbling. I am a child of the Father. Only children of the Father can produce these fruit, this fruit at the core of their inner being, the seed of the soul, their tree of life. And only the true mother and father can show this at their core. Some of you are very upset, and very hurt, and very worried right now because you know that the God you've been worshiping doesn't show these attributes in his soul, in his tree of life. You're worshiping a tree of knowledge of good and evil God. The God of this world, the God of the Bible, the God that you've been worshiping all your life, the God that humanity, at least Western humanity, Christian humanity, has been worshiping for 2,000 years, is the God of the tree of good and evil. He's good and evil. He's a mix. The true gods are the gods of the tree of life. And they have the fruit of the Spirit, which leads to life. That is profound. How long have I been going at this? In this. Well, I'm glad that you recommend the movie, Christine. 17 minutes. How many times have I told you this? I didn't write this book. I am not John V. Piniella. I promise. I did not write this book. Whoops. Come on. Sorry, I made it bigger for you to see it and it threw off my whole thing. The body itself, this body, it's only a shell. It's a mud hut body, and it's covering up the truth of you and I. It's disguising or masking us, if you will. It's altering our perception of what we really are at the magnificent level of creation. And right now that's been hidden behind the veil. When we look at our bodies, we fail to realize that they're nothing but a cocoon, and it covers something within. Our bodies are a shell or a cocoon for the soul, which really is a temple. These bodies are not us, and I tell you it all the time. And I encourage you to learn to get outside of these bodies. Be 3 feet behind your head, because these bodies are not us. And I think even calling them a shell or a cocoon, with all apologies to Mr. Piniella, is generous. They're a trap. They're a meat suit, a mud hut body. They are a trap. They are a trap. And this is a little deep. He talks about the word son. The son can be transposed into the name soul or soul, spelled S-O-L, but still pronounced soul. So he's equating the son and soul. There's 2 types of sons, S-U-N-S, S-O-N-S. One's the true Christ, and the other's the fallen Christ or Antichrist. Our physical local sun is the Antichrist in the theology of Mr. Piniella. Sounds a little crazy, but he says more on that later, so we'll pick up on that later with him. Some of you like the sound of that, some of you don't, and I'm not sure what to think yet. And that's okay. So let's move on. A little bit more, we'll go to the chat room, start answering questions. How do we tell the difference? How do we tell the contrast? There's a key given, Piniella says, so we can understand. As you hear me say so often, we've been lied to from the very beginning of time. And it could rightly be stated that time itself is a lie. We've been told that our divinity is a God that demands worship, a God that demands obedience, that we're simply slaves, peasants, in a kingdom where we give our worship and obedience to a God. And if you don't believe me, then you are stupid, because you've been following Paul all this time and you don't know that Paul over and over and over says we're slaves to God. I can show it to you 100 times. I could show it to you 20 times in the New Testament where Paul says you're a slave to God. And I have done it, but I'm not going to do it here because you're lazy and you need to do it yourself. And that's a lie. We're not slaves. Our father and mother do not demand our worship. In fact, they don't even want our worship. Our father and mother do not demand our obedience. They create a training scenario for us to learn to choose for ourselves. We are not peasants. We are not serfs. We don't give our worship and obedience to gods. We are children of a divine father and mother with a healthy family relationship, parent-child relationship. And what happens? The children grow up to be just like the parents. We're growing up to be just like the Elohim. So let's see what Piniella is saying here. Isaiah chapter 45, verse number 7. The Lord is speaking, the rat bastard. He says, I form the light, and I create darkness. I make peace, and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Well, obviously, the God of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil would be dualistic, just like this in his nature. The true father and mother cannot be compromised with this diabolical, dual, twisted freak of a fallen God. It's simply not possible. It's simply not possible. This is a psychopath, a sociopath, a person suffering from MPD, multiple personality disorder. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been following a crazy little g God all this time, and you wonder why the world's gone crazy. Well, wonder no more. Our connection to the Father and Mother, our divinity, is that we're their children, not their servants. I'm a servant of the Most High. Well, you're the servant of someone who is mostly high if he believes it, and you have to be high to believe it yourself. You're not a servant. You're an heir. You're not a servant to a God. You're an heir to a father and mother that are divine. They have a deep and abiding love for us, and that love is unconditional. They gave us the ways and truths that allow our seeds to sprout and grow, and if we follow them, we lead to what? Life, and life more abundant. We're in the growing business, and if we listen to our father and mother, business is a booming. Cousin, brother, sister. All the indications of worship written in the Bible were brought forth by fallen ones. It's corrupted because all of the worship patterns in the Bible are seeking allegiance and worship. What kind of a God needs to be worshiped? A God with low self-image. What kind of a God needs to be worshiped? An egotistical God. What kind of a God needs to be worshiped? A prideful God. How has it taken you so long to figure out that any God that wants your worship is not a God at all? Any God that demands your obedience is not a God at all. Any God that wants your praise is not a God at all. If it wants your praise, it ain't the real Ancient of Days. Normal, loving, good parents do not demand worship. They don't threaten their children with horrendous acts of punishment. They don't threaten to destroy their children because their children don't do exactly what they tell them to do. These are the works of the Satan, the adversary, the Antichrist, the one against the Christ, the Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yaldabaoth, Marduk. He is the adversary, the enemy of the Father, Mother, and of the Christ. Teaching and correction is what loving parents do, but not through coercion, not through force, not through threat. Divine parents are never jealous, wrathful, or vengeful. That is not part of their character, and any deity, entity that is jealous, wrathful, or vengeful is not of a perfected character and is not the divine. That might be your God, but it's not mine. The God of the Bible is not my God, because the God of the Bible is a God that is not a God of the fruit of the Spirit. The God of the Bible is a God that is of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. My divinity is from the tree of life. Period. 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 Let's go to the chat room. Page 72. Remember that. We'll pick up here next time. Page 72. We'll pick up here next time. So do you want to watch a little bit of Oblivion again? Let's watch this a little bit more. She's pretty. Okay, back to business. All right, let's talk what's going on. Let's talk what's going on. Let's answer some questions. If you can't stay, we understand, but if you do me the honor of listening to me, I do you the honor of listening to you, at least checking your questions. I'm going through them right now, almost all of them, but we'll do as much as I can as things grow. I am O positive. So who are the gods? As in their names. And are they physical or spiritual? Are they from another planet, galaxy, or dimension? What do you think? Good questions. Study, ask, seek, find. Gospel Truth Army, GTA, GTA, GTA. Is the law of attraction real? It's a law. It's real. What you put out comes back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. What you put out comes back to you. This is where narcissistic sociopaths come into play in our lives. I've met parents who are just like that. Well, they're bad parents. Moses saw the false god. Ding, 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 ding. Give that man a Cupid doll. He's exactly right. It takes a wise parent to let their children find their own way. Yes, it does. I don't believe Moses really existed either, CS. Does the true divinity have a face? Probably not. The true divinity would be spirit, but they can manifest if they desire. I don't believe Moses was real, neither do I. Parenting is difficult. Reptilians, vampires. You know, Cody, it's interesting that you asked that. Who are the people that this false god has mixed in among us that look like us until we realize they're not like us? Sounds very vampiric, does it not? Sounds very vampiric, does it not? Interesting. Interesting. Seed of the serpent? Cody from Memphis, I like what you're laying down. Are reptilians a smokescreen for vampires? I like what you're laying down, Saving So-So. Service to others, being considerate. The meek shall inherit the earth. I don't think I've seen Oblivion. Well, now you've seen parts of it. All right, let's look at the word meek. Well, I'm not going to look at it. It doesn't mean small. I'm not a fan of Tom Cruise. He is a good actor. This has to be the height of satire. 55 Porter says Benny Hinn's probably the only good and true preacher out there nowadays. He heals people. Benny Hinn is one of the biggest shysters out there, and I'm sure 55 Porter knows that and is just being funny. Whoops. Doggone it. Doggone it. Let me get back to this thing. Now I just hid the chat. How do I unhide the chat? Are you kidding me? Show chat. Yeah, here we go. Let me get back. Michelle, thank you. Let's see. Wow. Is this the last chat? Yeah, nope, that's good. Here we are. I'm 54, not been on this path long. Well, welcome here. I saw Benny Hinn, wasn't impressed. Of course, Lunar Angel, he's a shyster. How do we weed out the name? Yeah, that's a good idea, Misty. I would replace it with mother and father, and you can use it interchangeably. Thank you, Jen. Tesla knew what the pyramids really are. Random. Our meat suits. It's so funny how people are all over the place. Time is an illusion. I agree, Dan. Welcome, Dan, from the Overwatch channel. You should go and subscribe. Thank you very much. Who is that? That is Thomas Greasy. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it super much. I really do. Mucho, mucho, mucho much. I never liked Paul in the Bible, nor should you. Paul did plagiarize some of the Christ good stuff. If you create your own reality, your reality doesn't have any limits. That's true. I think it's funny Christine always writes in capitals. Thank you, Michelle. I've only prayed to the Heavenly Father and Mother. I prayed to Satan as a child, says Katrina, because he's your brother and he felt sorry for him. Well, unless you have a brother named Satan, he's not your brother. He's the fallen God. And I sometimes feel sorry for him too, but I certainly would never pray to him. But that's up to you if you want to do that. Wow, that's kind of scary. Kind of scary. I left my cooks in Miami, but I had to get away from that place. Praying to Satan, how did that go? Oh, maybe I should do one of those little up ponytails like in this part of my hair so I can keep this stuff out of my face. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. The Lord is really Hannibal Lecter. He is. Lecter spelled with an ER, by the way. Jealousy equals hate. A God that worships is not my God. A God that wants worship is not my God. I don't need worship. If it needed worship, why would it be a God? Tiffany R., there's a scripture that says you are gods. Absolutely. Now I get Spark of Divinity where the Christ said, the kingdom of God is in you. Thank you, Tiffany R., for asking. When I think back when I was a Christian, these things never made sense to me. I'm so happy Jeff showed me the truth so I could get out of it. Well, I'm glad I pointed you to doing some study so you can do it yourself. God was as man is, and man may become as God is. I would go along with that. Probably. Okay, my battery's almost dead. Good night, Lunar Angel. I don't know why you don't get these notifications. Who knows? It's beyond knowing. Thank you, Lunar Angel. Narcissistic sociopaths, energy vampires, negs are elite, yada, yada, yada. Jeffrey Manbun, there you go. I write in capitals because I demand attention. That's funny. Lady Gaga, every time he says meat suit. Yeah, I saw that. That's funny. Lilith, Christine, Fierce, the mullet's coming back. Oh. You're God's children of the Most High. Absolutely. The Gospel Truth Army. Yahweh was I don't know about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We're through the entire thing. And you know what? Since it's our last show of the day, let's do a couple of broad questions. Let's do some Rod questions before I get back to oblivion. Let's do some Rod questions. Anybody got a Rod question? Anybody got a Rod question? My hair is down to my crack. Check out my profile pic. Does that mean that there's a picture of your crack on your profile pic? Okay, I'll admit it. I'm checking out the profile pic right now. Oh, come on. I can't get to it right now. I'll have to do that later, Christine. I hope that your crack isn't on your picture, on your profile. Misty Kruger asked the question. And I hope it's a yes, because I hope we get to come out there and do what you're talking about doing, Misty. Misty Kruger asked, will I meet Jeff in person? Says yes. Will YouTube be around in 5 years? Asks Iowa X. Yes. Is the Egyptian god Ra the demiurge? No. Can the rat bastard manifest in human form? Absolutely. You're welcome, Misty Kruger. I don't know that Enoch bypassed death. I think that might be bogus information. Any other Rod questions? If we put Yahweh to death in our consciousness, will he ascend will he ascend alive? No. Is the rat bastard here on earth? No. Is the moon a simulation? No. Are blue orbs real? They can be. Is hair for antenna? It can be. Christine Minerka, I hope you can. Will the U.S. be economically sound in 5 years? Yes. Was Tiamat the planet destroyed to create an asteroid belt? No. Is there a place to go outside this matrix? Yes. Does the Mandela effect have real significance? Yes. Yeah, that's right. You have to be on a computer to use the super chat. See you, Greasy. Thanks again, brother. I salute you. Bam. Is the moon a spaceship? Yes, that's kind of a broad question. Are the orbs I see gods? Nope. Are orbs spirits? Are orbs spirits? Nope. Sorry. Will there be violence this month from Antifa? Nope. Well, this is a tough one. Do we live in a holographic universe? I didn't expect an answer from that. Is Mark Toth reincarnated? I don't know if that's good or bad for you. Did the U.S. fake the moon landing? No. Is the reincarnation cycle a trap? Yes. Will Christianity be abolished in our lifetimes? No, it's not going to be abolished, but it might be defeated. Is 5G going to be dangerous? No, not in the way you think it is. Was Moses a real person? No. Did I meet Gabriel in person? No. Will there be a galactic war between humans and the Lord in our reality? Will there be a galactic war between humans and the Lord in our reality? Yes, it's going to take a little while to get it going. Can Enlil be trusted? No. Was CS Anne in the past life? I don't know if this is true or not. Will my dog have pink puppies? No. Is Marduk Mars? No. Interesting. Is Marduk Mars? Will Jessica May have a great birthday? Yes, she will. Has Matthew been to Mars? Yes, he has. Is Bart Ehrman really seeking truth? Yes, he is. Is Inky one of our creators? Negatory. Negatory. Cool, says Jessica May. I'm not going to ask that about Trump. Thank you, Overwatch channel. Am I a lover, not a fighter? You have to wonder that on your own. Do you like skillet? Don't even know what skillet is. We got one more question for the odds. Oh, here we are, the rods. Can Toth be trusted? Yeah, no, it says not. Was George Norrie naval intelligence? He was in the Navy. I don't know if he was intelligence. Thank you, Tricia. Will there be war between the United States and the North Koreans? No. Did our creator have a creator? No, not the ultimate creator. Come on, one more good question. One more good question. Is Jeff afraid of blasphemy? Not even a little bit. I don't want to ask that one about Susan Smith. Do you have any special shoes planned for tomorrow? No shoes. Is Jeff today's messenger? I don't want to ask that. That's too self-serving. Is Halloween a holy day? Yes, it is. And it is in some places. Is Dracula real? Yes, but not the way we think. Vampires are real. Are vampires real? Yes, I know it was, Jen. I don't have anything special because nobody sent me anything, and it's Halloween, so you know. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Boom. Although I did buy some new shoes. Bought some Kung Fu shoes. Oh, I'd love to dress up as Doc Holliday, man. I do believe vampires are real. Oh, we'll ask this one for Dan because this is a good question. Are there shapeshifters among us? Yes, there are. Yes, there are shapeshifters among us. See you, Rocker Chick. See you, everybody. Much love, much respect. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. No, Kung Fu, you wear shoes. A lot of martial arts, you go barefoot, but in Kung Fu, you wear shoes. Because most of the time in your life, you wear shoes, and Kung Fu is trying to be realistic. Thank you very much for being here. Unindoctrinate yourself. Guide your own spirit. Master your own ascension. Be your own guru. And that all starts by unindoctrinating yourself. Remember, there's not spiritual, there's not original sin within. You've got the spark of divinity within. That's why you should love yourself and love your neighbors. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Until next time, stay fearless, my friends. And I salute those of you that are here seeking after truth.